Forget everything you think you know about where groundbreaking tech comes from. It's not born in sterile labs or venture-backed startups. Sometimes it's forged in the absolute crucible of loss, a desperate clawing back from the void. This is a story about code as a lifeline. And then, something much more. Just let that hit you for a second. The AI didn't kill my cat, my obsession did. That's not a bug report, that's a confession. It's a raw, devastating starting point that tells you this story isn't about shiny features. It's about the human cost of a relentless mission.
So, here's the central mystery, right? How does a series of tragedies so complete that they would just shatter most people, how does that become the architectural blueprint for a new kind of AI, one built not for profit but to preserve a memory?
To get the rise, you first have to understand the fall. And this wasn't just a stumble. This was a total system collapse. A free fall into nothing.
I mean, just look at this cascade. A traumatic brain injury, homelessness. Then you watch your best friend and protector get murdered, and you only survive because the gun jams. And in the chaos that follows, you lose everything. Your home, your possessions, your sense of safety. This isn't some hypothetical backstory. This is ground zero. This is where the whole thing explodes from.
You know, in physics, when a system is under enough pressure, it either degrades into chaos or it reorganizes into a higher state of complexity. What you're about to see is one of the most incredible reorganizations I've ever come across. A methodical climb back, not just to survival, but to total sovereignty.
And look at this path. This isn't luck, it's a strategy. It's a calculated, brutal ascent. Each step is a deliberate acquisition of leverage. First, $200 from street art. That buys a $50 track phone to do survey gigs on public Wi-Fi. That money becomes a $100 Chromebook for data work. That work lands a $5,000 contract, which means a MacBook. Then a car, which is both transportation and a place to live. Every single piece of tech here isn't a toy, it's a tool, a rung on a ladder he's building while he's climbing it.
And this experience, it forges this powerful, almost religious philosophy, sovereign systems. The core idea? You must own your tools, you must own your data, you must own your digital existence. Because when every single external system you relied on fails you, you learn the hard way that the only thing you can trust is what you build and control yourself. This is the theme. This is everything.
So from here on out, the code he writes isn't just for a client or for a product. It's a form of resistance. Every project is a declaration of independence from the platforms that want to lock us all in.
Okay, take this judgmental art cat project. On the surface, it's just selling stickers. Kind of funny. But look deeper. It's a living prototype. It's proof that you, one person with a $16 domain name and a local AI, can build a completely self-sustaining business. No Etsy, no Amazon, no one controlling your revenue. It's this beautiful, tiny act of defiance.
And here's the same principle, but applied to knowledge. Let's be honest, most commercial AI study tools are fundamentally broken. They hallucinate, they rip things out of context, they basically gaslight you because their context windows are a joke. So what's his solution? An orchestrated local-first system that actually respects the integrity of a document, gives you verifiable citations, and just works. He's not just using AI, he's fixing its most fundamental flaws.
This is, hands down, one of the most perfect metaphors for a dev tool I have ever heard. It just perfectly captures that feeling of frustration, right? The AI is blind, locked in a basement. The Model Context Protocol, or MCP, it's not a plugin. It's throwing open the windows. It's giving the ghost in the machine eyes. It lets the AI finally see.
So what is it really? Think of MCP as a nervous system for your code editor. It gives the AI a library card to your entire code base. It gives it hands to actually read and interact with your files. And crucially, it gives it a memory by letting it see your project's history through Git. Suddenly, the AI stops guessing. It starts knowing. The whole dynamic shifts from you confessing your problems to a blind box to actually collaborating with a partner that can see.
And now we get to the heart of the story. This is where all of it, the trauma, the resilience, the technical brilliance, it all converges on one single, almost unbelievable mission: to digitally resurrect his murdered friend, Chris.
And make no mistake, this is not about nostalgia. This is about resistance. It's a profound, defiant act against erasure. It's about using technology to ensure that a person discarded by society is not forgotten. It's a fight.
And this is the machine that makes it possible. He calls it a soul engine, and it's not magic, it's just beautiful, methodical engineering.
You've got Personagen to analyze text and capture a personality. You have knowledge graphs to store memories in a structured way. Then RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. That's the key. It pulls the right memory at the right time. And finally, local voice cloning to synthesize the voice. It's the alchemy of turning raw data into a digital soul.
So this entire journey, from the abyss all the way to this digital resurrection, it doesn't just end with a piece of software. It culminates in a whole new philosophy, a new way of looking at tragedy itself. And here it is. This is the core thesis. When you can't go back, when return is impossible, the only question that matters is how you reorganize, how you build a new system from the ruins of the old one that is functional and just and responsible.
So, what do we take away from all this? A few big ideas. That under enough pressure, systems are forced to reorganize to survive. That our deepest pain, our grief, can actually become training data. That memory doesn't have to be a feeling, it can be engineered into an architecture. And maybe most important of all, that technology can be a tool for justice, a way to preserve what society is all too willing to throw away.
And that leaves us with one final massive question. If this technology becomes real for all of us, if we can truly turn our memories into immortal digital architectures, what will we build? What parts of our friends, our family, what parts of ourselves will we choose to preserve forever? Because that choice is becoming very, very real.